Alright, so today I'm going to be showing you how to set up your ISN in case you were absent or you're a new student. So you should have this sheet. This sheet right here allows you access to my website. You can use the QR code or just type in the website here. These are also ways for you to contact me. This is so you never lose it and you never have to ask me for that information or say that you didn't have it, because it's right there in your notebook. And if you don't have your notebook, shame on you. So this is going to go right in the top corner of your front cover. Make sure whenever you're putting it in that you put a lot of pressure on it, because if you don't, that's what helps it to adhere. It's going to come off pretty easily. So now you've got that set up. Now we're going to make our front pocket. You're going to take the top edge corner of your first piece of paper, pull it down to the seam of your notebook, and then crease a triangle in it. And this is going to form your front pocket. If you flip it over, you'll see that it kind of resembles a pocket. And we're going to take 3 pieces of tape. One to tape the edge here. You can't even see it. Tape the edge here. Let's see. There we go. Okay. And then you're just going to wrap it around the edge. And then take a second piece, put it along the bottom here, fold it over on the front cover, and then one more piece down here. And you know what? It's not going to be perfect unless you spend a lot of time on it. That's up to you, but whenever I close it, you know, this is what the front looks like. It's not beautiful, but it works, because the pocket's going to allow you to put things that we haven't quite finished yet and we don't have attached on the pages. Now set that aside for a moment, and you're going to get this little blue sheet and this sheet that has a bunch of grids all over it. You want to make sure that you have first quarter and second quarter facing up, and then I want you to fold it in half. Yes, I know that there's this on the back. That's okay. It's not going to hurt anything because we're going to glue over it. So take this blue sheet and glue it onto the back. And you'll notice how I'm gluing is the same way I want you to glue in class. Go around the edges, crisscross through the middle, and hurry before it dries. Make sure you put a lot of pressure down, because that's what's going to help it stick. But using a ton of glue really doesn't make a difference. It just wastes the glue stick, because it can come off just as easily if you use all that glue as if you go around the edges and crisscross through the middle. So now we've got this little booklet here, and I want you to take that and glue it on the first page of your ISN. And in case you're wondering why I keep calling it an ISN instead of a notebook, that stands for Interactive Student Notebook, and I just shortened it to an acronym ISN. And that's what everybody else calls it, so you might as well get used to it in this video. And I'm applying a lot of pressure to make sure that it is solidly in there. This sheet is where you're going to record all of your scores from your test. And on our first test day, you'll see exactly what that looks like, but you can see the 4-point scale here, and so it'll actually look like a bar graph when you're done. And then each time you get an updated grade, you'll put it in here so that you never have to ask me what your grade is. Now this front page, this tells you about the grading rubric that I use. So it'll never be a question what kind of criteria I use to give you the grade that you have. You'll always be able to go back here and look at it. Now something that I took the students through was telling them what kind of A, B, C, D, F grade each of these are, because everyone always wants to know Well, what grade is that really? So a 4 is obviously 100%. That's an A. That means that you totally mastered the material and you did absolutely nothing wrong. A 3.5 is equivalent to an 88%, which is a B+. And this score is for if you mastered the topic but you had some minor error that threw you off. That could be a sign error, that could be forgetting your units, that could be forgetting to use an approximately symbol, or it could be something like not writing your answer on the line. But that's what a 3.5 is. A 3 is equivalent to a 75% or a C. I still consider this proficient. This means you have a strong understanding, but you haven't mastered everything. So you had a few small errors or maybe one, medium-sized error that caused you to get a 3. Now, after 3, it's considered unacceptable and something that I recommend that you reassess. A 2 is a 50%. That's an F. And 1 is a 25%, and that is also an F. And clearly 0 is an F as well. The difference between a 2 and a 1 is that the 2 actually showed some inkling from our lesson, like they showed something that I taught you, but they just did it all incorrectly. A 1 is they tried, but it didn't even look close to what we did. And then a 0 is just you did nothing at all. So a 1's more like a consolation point, but it's better than nothing, so I reward you for at least trying, even though it isn't even close. So this is what you'll be graded on, and that's what these scores will mean inside of your score chart here. So now let's go to the back of your ISN. I forgot to have you put a pocket here as well. So to do this, again, you take the top corner, pull it down to the middle of your book, fold it down into a triangle, put it over to your back cover, and then you're going to tape it down in those 3 places I showed you earlier. 1 on the side, and then 2 on the bottom. And you just stick it on and then wrap it around to the cover. And this stays pretty well. I do not recommend putting every paper you ever receive from me in here. Your homework does not belong in these pockets because they will pop open, break apart. Now go ahead and open back to your front cover and turn that first page. The back of the first page is going to be for your 3rd and 4th quarter grades. And then this page here is going to be our first actual page. This is going to be our table of contents, which I also call my TOC, table of contents. And I know it's math class, not English class, but you know what? It's very good to stay organized. That way you always know where your information is in case you need to look back into past lessons. Now go ahead and grab a ruler, and you're going to place it so that you just have the width of the ruler, and then draw a line. It'll look like this. And then go ahead and do it again. Oops, got my thumb there. And you're going to have those 2 columns and then a 3rd column. And then across the top, I want you to draw a line so that we can write our headers. This is going to be for your page number, your skill number, and your lesson title. And if I'm going too fast for you, that's okay. Just pause the video and then catch up. Now, this page is going to be labeled A, and then this page is labeled B, and this will be your second table of contents page. Just go ahead and go through the same process of putting 3 columns. 2, the width of your ruler, and then the 3rd one is whatever's left. And then go across the top, and then you're going to write in your headers. Page number, skill number, and lesson title. We're almost done. That's your table of contents. Now you're going to go over here and put WWK. That's words worth knowing. My fancy way of saying vocabulary. I just think it's more profound if you say words worth knowing because they're actually words that we're going to use in this class. And we're going to leave 5 pages for this. We're going to go C, D, E, F, and G. And then wherever you're at in my class, the next page you'll just pick up right there with page 1 or page 37, wherever you're at, that's what you'll put there, and that's your ISN. Now, there is also a binder component. The sheets that I gave you, just stick in your binder and ask me about setting that up. I don't think there needs to be a video for it. It's really easy and really quick.